Welcome back to Dr. OJ Speaks TV. Welcome to the second week in June. Last week was amazing, but this week promises to be even more amazing, if I do say so myself. I want to say thank you to those of you who have graciously downloaded the Roku app and are currently viewing us on Banky TV network on the Roku app. But most importantly, I want to thank you, my YouTube family. Yeah, you guys are awesome. All the subscribers, the views, the comments, the likes, the shares. I don't know what we would ever do without you. You are our community. But if this is your first time on this channel and you haven't subscribed, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit your notification button because every week we are bringing amazing content to you from our studios. All right, guys. This week's episode promises to be another thrill ride. We have, of course, our hot topic segment. We're going to go into our main topic. This month we're focusing on business and so many other strategies. And we're also going to do our Dr. OJ Speaks question segment, which is Ask Dr. OJ. So stay tuned and we will be right back. But before we leave, today's episode is graciously sponsored by HD Pro Global Beauty and Body Med Spa. Check them out on their website for so many opportunities like owning your own franchise, becoming certified as a beauty med spa professional, or getting your body transformation in 90 days or less. Check out hdproglobal.com for more information and registration and bookings. We will be right back with our main hot topics. Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. Today on our hot topics, we have a few some information, right? So I don't know how many of you guys have seen the Blue Therapy episode on YouTube. Like, that video was like over 1 million hits in about 2 to 3 days. Blue Therapy. What are your thoughts on that? Like, the couple, Nigerian, and just talking about all of their issues that we all really deal with. Personally, for me, I think that was a great platform. Like, I enjoyed seeing them be vulnerable, even though it was publicly aired. And one thing that I was kind of battling with is either was it reality or maybe. All right, so we know that they're dating in real life and they're an actual couple. However, news has it that it's all acting and there's absolutely nothing real about all of the information. But if you have more authentic information on that, definitely drop something in the comment and let us know. So that's just what I have to say on Blue Therapy. But absolutely love it, whether acting or real. Those are real life issues that people deal with, and I know that a lot of people were able to have some takeaways or maybe have to say about them. Hopefully it helped you in your relationship. Now, another thing on our hot topics today is marriages and relationships that really are breaking up in 2021. Bill and Melinda Gates. Who would have thought that the CEO, one of the world's wealthiest men, like, a comic made a joke, and I think that was just really low. Like, as wealthy as you are, you can't hold onto your cheek. Like, come on. No, but that's not funny though. So that just goes to show you that no matter who you are, no matter how high in the upper echelons of society that you are, when we talk about this thing called human relationship, we are all still trying to figure it out. So nobody is immune to a bad relationship or a good relationship. It's not a factor of how high, how low, or how middle class, or wherever you find yourself. Relationships are a huge deal. And on this show we're going to be delving into some relationship topics coming soon. Now, finally, I read in the news the other day, J-Lo and A-Rod have called it quits. What is happening? Come on, guys. I was rooting for them. They're such a beautiful couple. I love J-Lo. I love her music. I love her acting. I love her personality, the down-to-earth nature that she has, and just the hustle. I mean, I can so connect with that lady. Like, the hustle in her spirit, it is like out of this world. And I connect and resonate with her. But it didn't quite work out with her and A-Rod, and I'm so sad about that. All right, so now another news that we're bringing to you today is the growing trend in aesthetic procedures that are it's rising so much. Like, there's a huge spike in the growing demand for aesthetic procedures and treatments, namely IV infusion therapy. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's basically infusion of vitamins directly into your veins. They do it intravenously, which is IV, and it goes directly into your bloodstreams. A lot of benefits to this I've heard, but HD Pro Global actually has already joined the bandwagon, and we are throwing our hearts in the game, and HD Pro Global is going to be offering IV infusion therapy. So if you want to try that and you're a bit curious about this, definitely get on their website and book an appointment, because HD Pro Global definitely always brings you the best. All right, so that's it on our hot topics for today, and I will be right back for our main discussion on some business tricks, tools, tips, strategies, know how to do it, how to not do it. What am I saying? I'll be right back. Discussing in the month of June, we started our series with business strategies, tips, and tools, right? And today's episode is going to consider 5 things you need to consider before going into business. Now, if you missed last week's episode when we talked about discovering your niche, carving out or discovering your niche, you need to go back and watch that episode, because it has a lot of good, juicy information, things that you could actually use to help you discover your niche or carve out a niche for yourself. All right, so that's it. So if you missed that, this week, this month our series is on business. Today we're going to talk about why it is important to understand what you're good at. So we're going to give you 5 things you need to consider before you go into business. It's very important to know things that you're good at, your gifting, your natural abilities, and then begin to build out from there. So if you've acquired adequate skills and training that would allow you to function very well in that area of business. So those are some of the things that we're going to talk about today, for you to understand that the acquisition of skills and abilities or your natural innate abilities play a significant role in how successful or not you will be in business. Now, people talk about entrepreneurship. It's not like a slogan. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, be calming down. Entrepreneurship is not a lifestyle. It's not a joke. It's not something you just say because you want to be trending. My entrepreneurship is hustle, getting down in the trenches, almost losing everything, and literally you should be willing to give it all up for the sake of that particular word called entrepreneurship. But how many people are willing to do this? What it takes to be truly successful in business. And that is why today's episode allows me to share some of my personal experience and my journey in over 15 years, being an entrepreneur, starting out as a side hustle, like I stated last week, and then getting into full-time. I kill, then I eat. If I don't go out to hunt, kill, my children and I, hunger, God forbid, we will not see bad thing. But anyway, let's talk about some things you need to consider before you get into business. So there is a place for passion, and there's a place for hard work, diligence, discipline, skill, development, personal development, professional development. So passion is one part of it. Having the innate ability, your giftings. If you haven't read King of My Gifts, there are copies being sold on Amazon. I heard it's a really good book. You need to check it out. King of My Gifts by Dr. Yinka Salai Chinadu. She's a great author, by the way. All right. So passion is one thing, but passion alone will not make you all the money, or will not allow you to have the kind of impact your life is supposed to have. Because for me as an entrepreneur, not only are you providing good services or whatever it is that you're doing, you need to be impacting and adding value to life. It's all about value. I mean, for me, value over dollars, right? But at the end of the day, if you add enough value, like Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they need, you will eventually have all that you want, all that you need, and then some. I kind of improvised there. You didn't say all of that, you know, as I am. I have to add my own jar extra. Anyway, jokes apart though. Passion is great, but you need to have the basics down. So let's get started. What are some of the things that you need to do? First of all, why? Why are you going into business? Why are you trying to be an entrepreneur? Why are you trying to solve a problem? Why do you feel like this is what you need to do? Your why is very important. I know. That is so cliche. That is so motivational speaker talk. No, it is real life essential tool that you need in your toolbox to carry you through 10 years of building something and never losing steam. To carry you through months and years of not making money on something and understanding that the process and the journey you're on will eventually get you to your goal. It takes you to know your why for Albert Einstein to develop the bulb and try, I think, over 1,000 times that he did it, and eventually we have electricity. Let there be light. If he did not have his why, he must, I don't know what was going on in his head, because, you know, scientists, I'm a scientist as well. We kind of think very analytical and we're very logical. But whatever his why was, that why kept him trying over 1,000 times before he got it right. How many people in this generation can clearly state their why? Why are you a YouTuber? Why are you doing business? Why do you do makeup? What is your why? Because guess what? Your why is what's going to keep you going when no one else is looking your way. Your why is what's going to keep you going when everything seems to be working against you. Your why is what is going to keep you going when everything might not be working out as you had initially planned. Your why will allow you to have the mind and the knowledge, the ability, and just the understanding that you need to probably pivot in some ways to still get to your destination. So have your why clearly ingrained, not just by writing it down, but inside your spirit, your soul. Your soul needs to know your why. When you're sleeping and dreaming, your why. Well, why? My why, honestly, my children. I started out in life as a very ambitious young lady, but I started out in my ambition because I was selfish. I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to have nice things because I grew up with nice things. I grew up with parents who made me have this feeling of understanding that life only gave you nice things, you know? So growing up as an adult, I was driven to continue to have that life after my parents stopped what they needed to do as an adult, you know, when I adult, the adulting process, which is a total scam, by the way. Anyway, so your why. What problem are you solving in the marketplace? What problem are you solving? HD Pro Global provides transformational resources and solutions to help individuals reach their body goals in 90 days or less. That is a big problem. People have problems in different parts of their body, and HD Pro Global has made it their mission to provide non-invasive, safe options to help them solve that problem. What problem are you solving? It's very important. For you to be an entrepreneur, for you to do a business, for you to offer anything, it has to meet a need. There has to be the demand, and then you provide the supply. There has to be the problem, and you provide the solution. What problem are you solving? Number 3, do you have the skills needed for you to be considered as an expert? Because if you're an entrepreneur, whatever area of industry you choose to play in, and I say play because we all go to play in the marketplace, right? Whatever area of industry you choose to play in, you need to be considered an expert, at least to a certain level. Have mastery, because mastery is what people are going to pay for. Expertise is what people are paying for. So the value that you're offering needs to come from a place of you having acquired either the education, the training, of course, having your innate ability, something that is natural to you, helps a whole lot. And that's where discovering what your gifts are really becomes super critical to the process of discovering yourself and setting yourself up. But that is not the end of the matter. You have to know that you, even though you have this gift that you have been freely given, those gifts need to be expressed and developed in order for you to be able to provide value from it. Just because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean you're going to be the one to do it well. But in order for you to now begin to command some value in the marketplace, you have to prepare, position yourself through training, skill, and development, personal, professional, we've mentioned that, so that you can at least be able to demand value from it. All right, we have 2 more things to share with you, and I will be right back to finish up 5 things I think you need to know before you jump into business. See you soon. Are you living the life you dream of daily? Are you expressing your creativity while earning a 5 to 6 figure income annually? What would you give for the opportunity to be part of a $500 billion industry that not only meets all these needs, but offers an ever-growing and profitable lifelong career path? If you answered yes to all these questions, then you are the right fit for HD Pro Global Beauty Institute. We offer 3 online self-paced training and certification courses, 9 in-person training with starter kit options for each module, 5 training manuals developed and curated for the lifelong learner. In addition, our mentoring and franchise program is available to get you started with our Business in a Box package. Register online at www.hdproglobal.com, or you can call or text the number 469-420-0246 for more information. The HD Pro Global team is ready to help you master the art of transforming bodies and physical appearance in 90 days or less. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned with me. Have you been enjoying today's episode? I have enjoyed just talking about all of these business things. Like, it just brings back such memories of several different mistakes. Yes, I failed my way forward every single day, believe it or not. Even in this production, failing my way forward, learning and just getting better, and I'm still getting better. It's more about progress, never perfection. Because once you feel like you've attained perfection, you automatically become complacent. Your brain shuts down and your brain tells, oh, you've arrived. Okay, we're done learning. But for me, like a learner, always wanting to get better, always wanting to do better. So what are 2 other things? In the first half, I talked about 3 things. The first thing was your why. The second thing was understanding that you had to acquire skills and abilities. And of course, was the fact that what problem are you solving? Now let's go to number 4. Do not replace discipline, tenacity, personal growth, having the right business plan and strategy, hard work. Do not replace any of those things. Passion. I love to sing. I'm so passionate about singing. Have you gotten a vocal coach? Have you trained your voice? Do you work hard at exercising to ensure that your lungs your cardiovascular system can carry you for extended period of time when you're singing or acting? There's so many things that goes behind the scenes into the success that we see in the lives of people we look up to. They don't just wake up and boom, I'm successful. It's just like when people talk about supermodels, because I get to work with a lot of them, given my other business that I run. And people assume, oh, they just come out and look pretty. Oh no, honey, this stuff, it don't put itself together. It just doesn't happen like that. It takes a while. It takes skill. It takes just some type of finesse for you to see people step out and do what they do with the courage that they do it. And it's not because they're not afraid. It's not because they're not insecure. It's because they don't allow those things to stop them. Their ability or their desire to succeed far overcomes or far overwhelms whatever feelings they're having. So they're able to shove those feelings away, shove them aside, and keep going. So never replace the essential things that you need, like having the right systems in place. I'm such a systems person. I am OCD, organized things. I have to know when we're starting. Like right now, I'm, like talking to you, but I have my script and everything right there somewhere, and I'm kind of keeping track of everything that I need to say to you, so that way I can deliver with excellence every single time I step in front of the camera. Yes, I speak from the heart, but this is not something that I take for granted. I still put in the work to ensure that proper planning is in place for me to ensure production is top-notch. So, do not replace those things that you need to run a successful business just with a mere desire to say, I am passionate, I am excited, I have what it takes, I'm naturally gifted. No, honey. You need to have a business plan. You need to have a business strategy. You need to have discipline. You need to have tenacity. That is your perseverance, your willingness to continue grinding. Even when everyone goes to sleep and it feels like, oh, you've won. You won one battle yesterday. It's like, okay, yeah, we won that. What's the next thing? Let's keep grinding. You have to, I know people say this. I'm not saying overwork yourself, but work as hard as is needed to see the results that you want to see. Don't overwork yourself, because your body and your system requires a balance, right? I believe in a balanced life. I advocate, and I'm trying to practice it. Let me hide my face. I'm trying to practice balance. We all try to find balance in life. However, do not replace the things that are necessary. Systems are critical. You can't build a house and just put like just bricks and all the things. You have to have a foundation. You have to dig deep, put the foundation, and then you can put the house on top of it. So all of those things, do not replace them, because passion alone will not get you where you need to go. Finally, identify your ideal client, your audience, your customers, your people, the people who need your services. You have to identify them. Before they know you, you need to get to know them. Because guess what? The fact that you're getting to know them before they get to know you gives you the upper hand in being able to present to them what it is they actually need before they know they need it. I know that sounds weird, but that's the truth. You really have to kind of brainwash people into what they, like the way the world is like. We watch adverts and things like that. Sometimes you don't even know you need a service. You don't know you need a product until someone actually suggests to you that it is necessary. So please, you have to get to know your ideal client, and then your mode of distribution. Are you going to be an online person? Are you an in-person person? Are you a mobile service? Are you a brick and mortar? Are you consult? I mean, all of those things you need to have in place. Identify your ideal client. And once you identify them, that's going to help you to determine the systems you need to put in place in order for you to deliver to them with excellence. Remember, I guess take note of the fact that I'm mentioning excellence all the time, because that is a word that every entrepreneur needs to ingrain in their spirit. Performance and excellence is a necessity. Never ever feel like you're doing people a favor. Never ever feel like people owe you something. I had to learn that the hard way on my journey, and this is totally off script, by the way. This is like Jara. Let me give you Jara. Oh, let me give you Jara. Okay, so don't ever feel anybody owes you anything. If people help and support your business, be grateful. When I started out in my journey, I had this sense of entitlement that my friends and family, why are they not coming through for me? They must not be good. No! I had to learn. And I'm telling you that I had to learn, because those were mistakes that I made. I was not out here doing business for friends and family. I was out in the streets providing value. And I had to, over time, understand that my people, my tribe, my customer base was going to find me as long as I continued to put in the work and supply them with a system they could trust, a brand they could trust, something they could look at and put their money on it. So, that's all I got for you folks today. Entrepreneur, you ready? Let's get it! We are here for Dr. OJ Speaks question time. Yes, ask Dr. OJ. So the question that I received this week from one of my interviewers was, well, this is it. I'm going to read it out to you the way he said it. When did you begin taking body positivity seriously as a career? And what were some first steps you took? So he was asking me when I began focusing on just body transformations, giving people their confidence back, helping people realized that I can do it, you can too. Now, the answer to that question is literally the whole of my life, that idea had been building up. Because I grew up with my mother being a diabetic. Over, I guess I'm 40 now, 40 years of my life, I was with a mom who struggled with so many debilitating conditions that came up because she was diabetic. Almost losing her sight, kidney failure, several different complications that come up because of that condition. And I always made up in my mind, of course, praying in a way like, God, I'm not going to inherit this gene, I'm not going to inherit this gene, I'm not. And she prayed really hard for us too. But I understood that way more than prayer, I had to have a very healthy lifestyle. I had to do things a little different from she did it, because I believe if she knew the things that I know or that I knew while she was growing up, she would have probably been able to avoid coming and getting into that situation. So I was very intentional about educating myself. And from that education came the passion to say, when I had my kids, I was going to make sure that my belly was not, woo! Because I realized and I learned from research that having a big gut was one way that you were predisposed to diseases that affect people of color. So that was why I became very passionate about waist training. Even before I started to have our own brand and sell, I was waist training. After every child that I had, I was exercising. Before I got pregnant with another child, I would exercise, lose a lot of weight, and just make sure that I was not overly, gaining too much weight during pregnancy. So I was very intentional. So that journey is a lifetime journey, and that's where the backstory of my brand, HD Pro Global, comes from. So it evolved into me becoming a makeup artist, because then, of course, that was all I knew. I could get in. I just found myself there, and I was like, oh yeah, I can do makeup. I love makeup. I love beauty. I love that. But now eventually evolving into a medical professional who offers medical aesthetics that could actually cater to the full body. And of course, because I knew that a lot of people struggled with weight issues and things like that, I just was very fortunate to find myself in a field that allowed me to offer alternatives to surgery. Apart from C-section, I have never had any surgery in my life. And I'm like, I can't even imagine the possibility of getting cut just because I needed to get rid of excess fat, excess skin, and all of that. So I'm like, okay, well, I've been able to achieve that just by my own discipline and the things that I've adopted in my life. Then I can now add on these services that allows me to maintain what I've done and then help other people transform their bodies and physical appearance in 90 days or less. So that is the backstory to that question. And the steps that I've taken is getting trained. Yes, I had the desire. I had the passion. I had the mindset. But I had to get the skill, the expertise. I had to become trained and certified to become a lead body sculpting tech, to become a lead PMU brow artist, to become a professional makeup artist. So everything that you see, even with my Beauty Institute training and certifying people, I am a Texas certified educator. So I started off as a teacher in the classroom, being trained and certified on how to teach and instruct, write curriculums, do lesson notes, deliver effective lessons to people, check for understanding, and all of those things, how to interact with your students, how to create an interactive lesson, all of those skills, I use them in my business today. And everything that I do is a 40-year journey that started way, way back then, when I didn't even realize it. So that's my answer. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I really do hope that every information that we share with you adds, even if just a little bit of value to you, then we would know that our work has been done. Thank you for tuning in, and until next week, we will be